Hey, how are you? It's me, Jean, and yes, I'm a little bit later today, but that's okay. I had a chance to spend the afternoon with my son and helping him in his lab, and so I took that advantage of it. So, vowel power. It's all about the vowels, right? The vowels are what control the words. And when you come across an unknown word, do you ever feel like your heart just hurts watching your child struggle through reading a word? Struggling syllable by syllable, sound by sound, syllable by syllable, and struggling through it, and you just want to jump in and tell him the word. But then again, on the other hand, you want him to figure it out. So what if there's a happy medium where we could meet in the middle so that we are actually training and using guided questioning? So if you haven't met me yet, I'm Jean Harville. I am a reading strategy coach, and I'm the founder of Raising Kids Who Love to Read. And this is a Facebook community for Christian moms to come in who are searching for those most effective reading strategies to turn their struggling readers into confident readers. And right now I'm on my page helping kids with reading. Okay, so I always do my lives on my business page, and so you can always go there and you can take a look and look around and like the page and follow the page so that you'll be notified by Facebook when I'm live. So anyway, so questioning your kid towards success is training them in thinking, in their way of thinking, like when they come across a problem, if they have a strategy or a way to attack that problem, then that's very helpful. And what we're doing with the questioning is to say, okay, you don't know this word, so what do you know about this word? What do you need to know about this word? Okay, and so we're going to be talking about today of how we can divide these words into syllables. So what I do know is that, and we learned this yesterday, that every syllable has one vowel sound. It may be written with two vowel letters, but one vowel sound. So every syllable has a vowel sound. So that might mean, maybe I need to find out where those vowel sounds are to determine how many syllables or word parts or word units that are in that word. Another thing that we talked about is yesterday, we talked about some different types of syllables, like open, the open syllable, and the closed syllable, the consonant LE syllable, the R-controlled vowel syllables, the silent E, and then there's two vowel talkers, either the OA or like the whiners, like the OWs, that's what the OUs. Okay, so there's 6 different types of syllables, and determining what that syllable is that you have in your word, that's going to determine the vowel sound and what the vowel is going to do, how it's going to change, or how you're going to say that vowel. So that's going to make a difference in reading those words that are either one syllable, actually more than one syllable. Okay, so giving them that way of thinking about the words and how to unlock those unfamiliar words. So what you can do with Socratic questioning is by just questioning them. Okay, instead of stumbling over the word and trying to figure it out and then giving up because you're frustrated, let's have a strategy. Let's take a strategy. Okay, so the first thing we need to know, how many vowel sounds are in this word, and then we need to know where to divide it, and then we can work through it. So let's do this as an example. Now I've turned my screen backwards, so I'm struggling a little bit with getting things straight. But anyway, let's take this word right here. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is find the vowel sounds. All right, so I'm going to turn this so I can do this real quick because I'm not sure I can do it on the screen and hit it right. There we go. So we're going to dot over the vowel sounds. All right, and next thing we're going to do is we're going to connect those dots. Again, I'm going to do it this way because I can't do it backwards. All right, so now let's count the number of consonants that are between our two vowels. Okay, here and here. So here we go. We have one consonant. So we're going to divide this word just before, right there. So we divide, if it's one consonant, we're going to divide the word before the consonant. So let's see what it did to our syllables, okay? So the first one, I can't do this backwards. The first one is B-R-O, and with the O is at the end, it's going to be an open sound, right? Open syllable, so that means that this is going to say is name. So how could we read this? Bro. right? And then the second syllable is a consonant, vowel, consonant, and we learned yesterday that that's a closed syllable. So this vowel is going to say say like its name or special sound. But something's going to happen to this vowel in just a second. We'll talk about that. So let's put this word together. Broken. Oh, broken. I know what that is, right? Well, you notice here, because there's also an N after it, but you notice here, we kind of drop our voice a little bit because this is actually the accented broken. So this actually turns into kind of a schwa sound. So whenever the vowel is in the unaccented syllable, it's just going to make an sound. Broken. So you wouldn't say broken. We don't want to go. We don't pronounce every single vowel like broken because we want to be lazy when we're speaking. We don't want to pronounce every single sound. Okay. Let's try another one. Okay. This word here. All right. So we're going to. If we notice, there is an ending. It has a consonant LE ending. So we're going to keep that together. But we also let's take a look at our dot R vowels. Let's see if I can do this by the back of the paper. Okay, and we're just going to just dot over this whole ending here, okay? All right, so we're going to divide between a double consonant. So if there's two consonants, you divide right between them. They don't have to be the same consonant. They can be a double consonant, okay? And then I'm just going to turn around here because it's a little bit easier. Here we go. Okay, so we have drawn a line between our two vowels, and then we've drawn a line between the two consonants, all right? So this first syllable, MID, we would say, well, this is closed, so this vowel is going to say its sound, right? The I sound, mid. And then we know that this is the consonant LE, and it's going to say the dull sound, the ul sound, okay? So the word's middle. And oftentimes, if that word is in the child's vocabulary, when they're starting to sound the word, they'll say, oh, I recognize that word because it's in their vocabulary. So that's why vocabulary is very, very important to just be talking, just having language, just saying the words. They don't have to actually see the word, but when they're sounding the word out, they'll say, oh, I know what that word, that's middle. That makes sense in the sentence also. So that helps as well. All right, we're going to take one more. All right, so we're going to spot our vowels like that. I'm going to draw a line between the two. I'm doing this through the back of the card. And then we're going to define where are these consonants. There's two consonants right here. So we're going to divide between those two, just like that, all right? Okay, so anyway, so what do you notice? Let's take a look at this first word part, this first syllable. Well, if you could say, if your child says, well, there's an A, so you'd say, yeah, you're right, there is an A. Is there anything else that goes along with that A? Because hopefully you've spoken about or talked to them about those R-controlled vowels. You might say, oh, there's an R after it. So what do we know about a vowel with an R after it? R. That's right, it says R. So it's kind of it's controlled by this R sound. And so this first word would be what? Car, right. And then let's take a look at the second syllable. What would this say? It looks like it says ton. Yeah, it does. It does say ton because that's the ah sound, ton. Let's put it together. Carton. Carton. Oh, carton. Carton. And then sometimes we might say carton because sometimes we kind of make this an sound, carton, because we're lazy when we speak sometimes, right? So it's carton. And again, the schwad out because it's an unaccented syllable, carton. But you don't have to even talk to them about that because if this word is in their vocabulary, they're going to say, oh, and then you could even use it in a sentence. Well, if he's reading it in the sentence, there's going to be sentence context also because it's going to, if the sentence that they're reading happens to go along with like an egg carton, they're going to say, oh, that's an egg carton, carton, or however you're going to say that. So anyway, that's called the spot and dot system of the vowels and defining out, looking at those syllables and then deciding like what type of syllables those are and then what is the vowel going to say in those syllables. So what you've done, if you've given your child a system, a way to tackle, instead of just trying to figure out a word and they're just stumbling over it and they don't know what to do, you can say, let's stop and let's spot and dot. And so they go, oh, let's spot and dot. I love spot and dot. Then they can take their marker, or you could write it on a card, have them make their dots, draw between, talk about, question them to the syllable, and and help them to sound it out that way. It's so much more productive. And at first it may seem like, oh, this is going to be tedious. Why can't I just tell them the word? What you're doing is you're training their thinking, and that eventually over time they will just automatically see those word patterns and those syllable patterns and know exactly what that word is without having to, even if they haven't seen it before, because they've practiced how they have a plan of action, a plan of attack, right? Now these are words that are kind of like play fair with our phonics. We talked about sight words I guess it was last week, and how we can work with sight words. That's a little bit different, but first we have to have that foundation of the phonics so that we can break all the rules, right? So we have our rules, and then 80% of the time we're going to break the rules, because 80% of the words at the lower level of text are sight words. I know, it is tough, right? But you have to have a foundation to go from in order to make those comparisons. So anyway, so tomorrow we're going to talk about prefixes and suffixes, and if we have time toward the end of that live, I'm going to show you some irregular suffixes, and they're different, and they are a little bit much higher level teaching with these syllables, but the kids come across them, and so it's something that they need to know for our higher like middle school, upper elementary, like 4th, 5th, 6th, grade on up. Those would be the grade levels for these word suffixes that I'm going to show you tomorrow would probably show up in. So anyway, want more fun ways to increase your child's comprehension skills? Yes? That's what we've been talking about this last few weeks, about the different pillars that fall underneath comprehension. And if one of those pillars is falling apart, then the comprehension is not going to work. It's going to falter, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult for your child to read with fluency, and also to understand what they're reading as well. So that's why we're hitting all these different pillars and trying to figure out where your child may be struggling. And you can be thinking about that as I've been talking about these different pillars. So anyway, click and like and follow this page. Click and like and this video too. If you know of any moms who could really benefit from this information, you can just do what you do to get that information to them. And remember, this is the Helping Kids with Reading page, so you can come and like and follow so that you'll be notified whenever I go live. If you'd like more information, come on inside to the Facebook group. It's a free Facebook group, Raising Kids Who Love to Read, for Christian moms to find those strategies, effective reading strategies to help their kids, to turn them from struggling readers into confident readers. Oh, and there's actually some free things in there. I just put a new one in yesterday. And these are some free resources. One of them, you can give your email, and I'll pop you on the mailing list. And then also there's some pre-join questions, a few questions, just answer those, and that really helps me to know exactly what you're looking for when you come into the group. And I'd appreciate if you would answer those, and I can pop you into the group a lot quicker that way. So anyway, y'all have a really great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.